So here I am today in breezy Sisters, Oregon, and I discovered a long-arm quilter right in the middle of town. And so I wanted to bring you along and meet her. She is located in the Three Creeks building, which is the building where the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show offices upstairs during the rest of the year before they move out to where you deliver your quilts to. So when I came over to the office to see the new director, Dawn, I discovered this long-arm quilter. Come on in. I love this old log building. So she's the Longarm Lady, and her name is Gary Jones. Open. Come on in.
Good morning.
Hi, Gary.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm well. It's good to see you guys.
So this is Gary Jones, the Longarm Lady, and she came to Sisters via the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show, which is what we're all about. Last year, right?
I did, unexpectedly. I wasn't planning on coming from Northern California to the show till this year. But my girlfriend's husband got a new job at a different airline and said she's already booked room. Would you please take her? And I reluctantly went because I don't like to leave my studio there. And we came, had a blast. It was wonderful.
Of course.
It was amazing. We were blown away.
You had never been before, right?
No.
Okay.
No, I rarely leave the studio, so I barely get to go outside, let alone go on a little trip.
Yeah.
So we saw every single quilt at least once. I must have taken 1,000 pictures. It was great, and I cannot wait for it this year. I have a lot of friends coming up from Northern California. But yeah, I didn't expect to be here. I had a studio, as you know, in Geyserville, Northern California.
Which is beautiful.
Wine country. I want to give a shout out to Geyserville. Hey guys. Just a great public space. But when I came to the quilt show, my girlfriend from high school said, hey, come over for a barbecue. I haven't seen you in years. I want you to meet my fiance. So we went to the barbecue and met her fiance and his two best friends. Well, big story smaller. I met Jeff there. We fell in love immediately. Did our long distance relationship, and he owns top-notch pole buildings, and so he's established here. He has a business. He said, "Well, one of us is moving, and it's not me." So we struggled with the long distance, and then I told my friends. I said, I think I'm going to move to Sisters, and they said, "What?" I'm a California girl. You don't leave California. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to. And then they're like, well, wait a minute. You're an empty nester.
Why not?
Go. So I did. And the first things my girlfriend said is, you get up there, you better get a ring on your finger or we're coming to get you. So he did. And we're engaged. And here, I didn't tell you this part. We were going to get married on Quilt Show Day.
Are you?
We danced at the Stevie Nicks or Fleetwood Mac cover band at Hardtails. They have a beer garden in the summer and a concert series.
Which is a bar on the other side of town that has karaoke and that whole bit going on.
Yeah, but their summer series is really, really cool. So we thought, how cool would it be? Because my friends will be here for the show. Why don't we just kill two birds with one stone?
Yeah.
But I opened this, and things just got rolling, and things got busy, and then we got involved with the quilt show, and his business is growing, and we're like, yeah, we can't do it all. So we're not getting married on Quilt Show weekend this year.
But let me just say that people don't just come to the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show to see the quilts. They also might meet their future spouse. Yeah. And I actually saw a pop-up wedding last year. Didn't we see a pop-up wedding, G, that was at the Sisters Coffee Company out on the patio.
Really?
Yeah, it was just the couple, a minister, and then everybody that was sitting out there having coffee. 2 people volunteered to be stand-up.
Okay, well, stay tuned. Stay tuned, you guys. You never know. You never know.
We could do it.
We could do it. We could do it.
So you decided to open this studio here, which is, I think, the most, this building has such a long history for us. It's such a precious spot, and that the quilt show office is upstairs.
Right.
So all these quilters are coming right by your door.
They are.
And yesterday I was with my stitch group, and I found out, because I was bragging on you, I found out that you do quilting with the Mission Quilters in town.
I just started with them.
Yeah, which is, explain that to them.
So one of the people that stopped in while they were going upstairs to the quilt show to volunteer to be a team leader for the hangers, stopped in, and she said, like everybody, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing here?" Surprise, here I am. And she told me about this group that she belongs to at our church called the Mission Quilters. They meet every other Monday, piece their little butts off, but they were gifted a long arm.
I know, I was surprised when I heard that.
Yeah,
but they really didn't know what to do with it.
They didn't. And I'm like, oh, pick me, I know stuff. Okay, when you become an owner, you have to, it's like, being a mechanic for your own truck.
Right, exactly.
The nearest help for me is probably Seattle.
Yeah, McMinnville, I think, here in Oregon.
Yeah.
For Gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's McMinnville.
So I've learned to survive.
Yeah.
So I went over, and it's a very simple machine. It's nothing like my machine, but it was so wonderful to, first of all, to be helpful and needed, and meet. There was 10 wonderful women in there.
Yeah.
It was a great day. I was able to show them some things. I went back again Monday, and they were upset. We were frustrated. It was not working. It's skipping stitches. And I went, okay, let me look. So we went through the steps and sure enough, it was just, their needle was simply twisted a little bit too far to the left.
Oh.
And
takes a little bit of knowledge and expertise. And now you're like their little angel.
See, now my husband's going to laugh at that. That's not what he calls me.
Oh, I love that.
I call him my
So
fiance.
you set up this studio here, which is absolutely the perfect size, and you have your quilts on the wall, which I was just so drawn to that Hawaiian quilt, because you know how we're connected to Hawaii. G actually was a child in Hawaii.
No way.
Yes.
Where?
In Honolulu. And I actually made my nephews went to college there at U of H, and so we were there a lot. We sailed there, and I've made lots of Hawaiian quilts, needless to say. So this, though, is awesome because it has that 3D. I love the 3D. That actually has a little turn-down collar and all of that.
Gary, I'm 56 years old. I don't know how old you are, but I went to kindergarten there on Oahu. And then we moved to the Big Island, and I call Kailua Kona my home. We moved away when I was 13. We moved back to California. But we go quite a bit. Well, I'd taken my 2 little girls, like 8 and 12 years old, and to see all the shacks and the outhouses and stuff that we lived in as, tin roofs kind of stuff, right?
Right.
And while my husband at the time and my little one were asleep, my daughter Kelsey and I went shopping for fabric. We shouldn't get started.
Right.
So I bought a yard of everything. We got back to the house that we were renting, and I went, oh my gosh, how am I going to hide this from him? So I filled up her little carry-on and then forgot about it. So, a week later, we're going to the airport, and he's like, come on, Kelsey. And we're walking. She's way back there. Come on, Kelsey. She's pulling this. And finally she goes, Mom, I filled it with fabric, and I can't lift it. Oh, it was so busted. But those are all hand-carried. I made that 9 years ago for myself. I've not had a turn
To quilt
my stuff. And that's actually what I thought I was doing here at Three Creeks building, is having my own little, I thought I'd do a quilt or two.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Your own little studio away from the hubbub of home.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, are you? You said yesterday that your daughter has moved here. One of your
She
daughters
is.
moved here. So you're going to get them all sucked into helping hang quilts and all of that?
That's funny you should ask. I was
Because they
talking.
need volunteers.
I was talking with Shauna day before yesterday, and we were supposed to have Taco Tuesday lunch. I think I told you that. And she got too busy and I got too busy, but I said basically what I wanted to visit about was what is my role going to be? And I've always been involved in my community. I've always been a volunteer at the school, at the church, with really everything. So I said I know that I'm supposed to be involved. I know I'm supposed to be helping. I am doing intake.
Mm-hmm. We love people who relocate here that totally embrace the community.
I'm jumping right in there. So
And you brought your children.
I did. So I have my daughter and Adrian and James and my fiance, and I'm going to try and get a couple daughter and sons-in-laws. It's different because we come from California. We're very, very community based, but not so much the family I've moved into.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really different for me. Usually it's we got to go sell tickets. We're going to go cook breakfast at the Quant. And so to try and talk them into being volunteers, I'm going to have to bribe them.
Yeah, well, if anybody can do it, you can. And so let's get on to your setup here.
Okay.
Is this, so this is computerized, but I heard yesterday that you do custom too.
I do.
But you also have this amazing thing, which is amazing, actually.
Can you see that, Gary? Greg? I'm Gary. You be Greg.
Yeah. So do you draw these, or are they, is it on a disc and you choose what fits best?
They are digital patterns that I buy online.
Uh-huh.
This is a Gamble Statler stitcher. I've had it for 6 years. His name's Jeremiah. Before I bought a computerized machine, I thought I was going to get just a free motion machine.
Right.
So for 6 months, I traveled up and down the West Coast, learning from artists like Irina Bloom and Linda Taylor, free motioning.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I saw the sign at a fabric store that said, "Hey, have you ever thought about having a long arm quilting service?" Right about that time, my husband said, "Hey, let's get a divorce." So I said, "Yeah, let's do that. Let's start a business." So I went to this little class, and they showed you in black and white what it takes to make money and support yourself quilting.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this machine there on display. Big story, small. This was the dealer's machine, and he sold it to me that day.
Wow.
And I bought it. But all my artist teachers all have fancy names for their machines. So I named him Jeremiah, after Jeremiah 29:11. So, computerized, digitized patterns you can buy online. I have about 2,800 on there now. And anything you can think of, we can go online. There's hundreds of different digital artists. They range from $5 to $45.
Mm-hmm.
And I get them here on the Statler. Let's take this one for example. This is kelp. Now let's get something easier. Let's go with, let's go with some sea life. Let's get rid of those. Let's go with some sea life.
Look at that octopus.
Well, let's make pretend this family wants an octopus with only 3 legs. So I can go in and I can change things quite a bit. So let's delete that little guy. Where's another leg? Oh, those legs. Let's delete those legs. But not the bubbles. And let's say we're going to go with that many legs. And let's do this. Let's say they want it to have, let's make it a special needs octopus. How about that? Do whatever I want to make this octopus what that family wants to see. You see where I'm going with this?
Uh-huh.
We can make it whatever we want.
This is, though, you really have to be computer savvy.
You do?
Or graphic art savvy, huh?
You know, if you have PC knowledge, it's really great.
Mm-hmm.
But those of us who do it love it so much, we just do it all the time.
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like second nature.
So there's two things that I do, or basically. The most affordable thing and the fastest thing is an edge-to-edge pattern.
Right.
So, and that could be just one pattern all over the whole thing.
And this was the one you were using yesterday.
It is. Let me show it to you. I did this one yesterday for
the Stitch and Post.
For the Stitch and Post, so go check it out. They've got a new kit in. That looked beautiful on it.
And let me tell you, Jackie was raving because I was there yesterday. Yes, she was raving. She not only that, but that it was so timely.
Yes,
You know,
that's
and
the
that was
wonderful
awesome.
thing is she gave it to me in the morning and I gave it to her in the afternoon.
Which is unheard of, let me tell you. But they are happy as all get out.
And I'm thrilled that they would even ask me.
Yeah.
So an edge to edge, any of the 2,800 patterns I can throw on there. I can add borders, sashes, block work. I have a lot of block work. But it starts off price-wise as an edge to edge. Can I show you some of the work?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go this way. This is a simple edge to edge. Well, no, it's a little bit custom because you can see this is an edge to edge, but then we did a block work here.
Yeah. How lovely.
Yeah. And this, I love collecting ribbons. This got a ribbon a couple times in California.
Uh-huh.
And now over here, you go from that to this.
Which is custom.
This is totally custom. And this is, oh my goodness, this is linty.
Look at this. Oh. That is so clever.
Let me get my lint brush because I want to show off a couple things that the computer can do and that I can do if I have enough coffee.
First of all, let me just say, the loading of this quilt on this long arm was so quick, it boggles the mind. When I think, when I had a long arm, how long it would take me to load a quilt. These new red clips are amazing, and apparently you can cut them to whatever size you want, and they just make loading really easy. Now, one of the things that Gary does is Quilts of Valor. She has a group from California that send her quilts, so don't be inundating her. She's got a lot of work already, but She knows that there's specific guidelines for that, and she is testing her quilting right now on a strip alongside the edge of the actual Quilt of Valor that she loaded, which is clever. And I want to tell you another thing. For you out there who have a long arm, this mirror that you see in bathrooms underneath to check your stitching, when I think about the times I was craning my neck to see what was going on and needing physical therapy afterwards, that's a great tip for you.
As is this.
And she got her little mirror there too. So she set up the quilt pattern she wants for this on her Statler enamel screen that is attached to her machine, and then she's off and running. Smile pretty.
Bye. It was nice meeting all y'all.
Thanks for watching.
And be sure to like and subscribe on Quilt Roadies.